back going. Oh, shit. Now, Johnny, at the risk of opening up an unnecessary can of worms, and also at the same time, with the understanding that we're all going to try to be as respectful as possible, genuinely respectful as possible. What parts of my aunt's comments do you agree with? Because I said at the start of the stream, it's important that we talk about this shit. Because we're living on different planets, and we got to fucking find a way to live on the same fucking planet and accept a comparably same reality. So my suspicion is that your reality is different than my reality, and I'd like to understand your reality. Is there anything going on over here? Let's talk about the things with our children first. What? Now, again, the aunt comment was horrible transgender plans for our children without parental approval. What do you think is going on? You said it, though. The things with our children. Okay, so when you said the things with our children, what did you mean? And again, feel free to express your feelings about it honestly, as long as they don't involve like actual hate and malice. I'm asking what you think, though. You said it. You said the things with our children. In my aunt's post, there was only one thing about the children. So just come out and say it. This is where we're gonna have a problem, Johnny. This is where we're gonna have a problem. Is when I ask a question and you fail to answer it. If you don't have the fucking balls to answer it, then shut the fuck up. And feel free to ask me anything too, and I promise you I will have the fucking balls to answer it. You don't think they should be deciding their gender when they can't decide what clothes to wear? Now, I guess in regards to deciding their gender, what do you think is going on at schools? Or I guess, well, maybe you're just processing out loud. So it sounds to me, and correct me where I'm wrong, because I'm going to get something wrong here. It sounds to me now, when you say they can't decide what clothes to wear, it sounds like you're talking about very young children in elementary school. and we're envisioning a boy, let's say an 8-year-old boy. We're just saying we're envisioning that there's an 8-year-old boy. You're suggesting that they're deciding that 8-year-old boy is going to decide that I'm a girl. And then what's the school doing wrong? Is the school chopping off the boy's dick? Shit. Oh my goodness. Now, okay. Honest question, Johnny. Do you think that elementary schools are chopping off young boys' dicks without telling their parents? Or better yet, do you think that elementary schools are doing anything with little boys' dicks? And if so, what? That's what you say permanent things. That's what I'm assuming that you're talking about. Reminder, full respect. We want to give Johnny the opportunity. Now, let's be clear here. You started off the discussion by talking about kids who can't decide what clothes to wear. What permanent medical procedures are being performed without parental knowledge or consent? What medical procedures are being forget about what medical procedures are you think are being performed on anyone underage without parental consent? Or maybe it's not a parental consent thing. Again, my aunt's post was primarily about two things: transgender business without parental knowledge or consent. Now, Loyo, we're trying to give Johnny an opportunity to explain what he thinks here. So this has nothing to do with. Hold on. Now, I guess my aunt. I read too much. Horrible transgender plans for our children without parental approval. I just read into that and assumed that it had to do something with school. So maybe that's my bias for what I've read. Woke parents are agreeing with kids and feeding it and taking them to like a doctor. Okay. Now, I guess the primary question I have is like, what's the government? Where's the government's role in this? I at the end of the day, it is my understanding that all the kerfuffle is again. There's parent. Okay. Ugh. Where all of these? I want to go here. So this is ultimately, Trump is getting rid of all of the extra pronouns. What's he gonna do? Huh? What's that got to do with? So now we're okay. Hold on. The most horrible thing that can happen with a kid is that they ask to be called them instead of a he. Is that? I mean, sorry, I'm not trying to be combative here, but at the same time, I'm also going to try to change your opinion. You got to understand, Johnny. I'm going to try to change your opinion. So you don't like it? You don't like it if a I mean, is this anybody? You don't want anybody to be able to change their pronouns, or just kids? Okay. Okay. Sounds like you don't like freedom. When I was a kid, so my full name is, let's just say my full name is Gopher. And when I was a kid, they called me Goofy. Full name Gopher. When I was a kid, they called me Goofy. And for the longest time, at school, they called me Goofy. That's not the name that I was born with. That's not the name that's on my birth certificate. But that's the name that they call me in school. And all of my friends' moms called me Goofy. But then when I got to when I got to junior high, I asked them to start calling me Goof. Was it wrong? Was it wrong for people to be able to call me a different name than the one that's on my birth certificate? And follow up. Follow up. When I asked my teachers to call me Goof instead of Goofy, or when I said, in third grade, hey, I know that the roll says Gopher, but I go by Goofy. Was that something that the school needed to consult with my parents about? Just simply the name that I was being called. That's not the question. We talked about this, Johnny. I'm going to get mad at you if I ask you questions and you dodge them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm trying to steer this away from some shit that's going to get us actually bona fide upset about things. So let's just keep this about little kids, or even little Goofy, going by a name other than the one that's on his birth certificate. That's okay. So it's okay for my proper name to change, but not my pronouns. It's okay for my proper name to be different than the one on my birth certificate, but not for my not proper name to be different. Okay. And that's, I don't know. What if instead I ask you never to refer to me by any pronouns? Here's a thought. What if, Johnny, I said, I don't actually have any pronouns, but you are able to either refer to me as Gopher or she, spelled Schee. Or you could also refer to me as her. Gopher, she, or her. You're not allowed to use any pronouns with me. You are not allowed to say him or he when you refer to me. You can call me Gopher, or you can call me she, or you can call me her. Those are my nicknames. How would you feel about that? And I should have capitalized those. I'm not having mental issues. I'm not having mental issues. I'm just asking, like, this is a genuine question. If I were to tell you that I would ask you respectfully never to use any pronouns with me, that you should, but you can call me Gopher whenever you want. But then I also have those other nicknames, she and her. Would you have a problem calling me she? Shit, what if I change my Twitch name to she? Am I allowed to do that? Spelled that way. Or maybe her. That I like her better because there's a movie called Ben-Hur. That's like about a mega fucking ripped. Was it Charlton Heston? I don't know, but he was fucking ripped, and he rode a chariot. So let's forget she. Pretend like what if I like really like that fucking movie, and I decided to change my Twitch name to her. Would you call me her? Both of those account names are taken, have one follow each. It's a bad trend for kids for people to change their fucking Twitch name? That reflects their how much they like fucking old Charlton Heston movies? Is it Charlton Heston? My dad used to love that movie. We're not talking about pronouns. God damn it, Johnny. Keep up. I'm talking about actually just changing my Twitch name, the one that I go by on Twitch, from Gopher to her. What do I have extra here that I'm not supposed to have? Oh, one of those spellcasters. Jason and the Argonauts is a deep movie. If you don't want to be here and have this discussion, hipster, you don't have to be here and have this discussion. But don't just fucking type nonsense thinking that you're going to change the discussion. Or maybe I'm missing a reference. I know there's context. I know there's context. I know there's context that we're talking about pronouns, but I'm talking about proper nouns. And I just want to make sure that we're 100% comfortable with me changing my proper nouns. and asking that people stop referring to me using my old proper noun and saying I prefer my new proper noun. And then I guess where this is leading is, if you're about freedom, then you should have no problem with me changing my name and being called whatever I want. You have no problem with me changing my proper noun to whatever I want. And if you don't have a problem with me changing my proper noun, why my pronoun? Or why would you have it? Why would you be so, I don't know. And again, it's less about what kind of, I don't know. Example I'm setting for the youth. It's just between me and you. Just between me and you. You just don't like it when it starts to become a gender identity that is different than the one that you are. No, that's fair. I get it. I get it. And you'd probably be upset if I started calling you she, right? You. I mean, I'm guessing, and I'm not going to. I'm not saying I'm going to, and nobody. I don't want anybody else to. But my guess is that you'd be probably uncomfortable, somewhere in between uncomfortable and upset, if people started calling you she and her. Right? Is that wrong? We're getting way off track here. We're trying to get Johnny to respect transgender fucking pronouns when ultimately we're trying to figure out what the government has to do with any of this. Fuck me. So why, hold on then. If you say, can people do it? Sure. Should they be able to do it? Of course. They should be able to do it. Of course. You just said it. And you said it would change your opinion. Why does Donald Trump need to come and take my pronouns away from me? Why is it that he, they needs to come take my pronouns away from me? Or maybe he's not going to take my pronouns. He's just going to set an example. All right, so now we can get back to the children. Now we can get back to the children. What are the children being taught about pronouns? And who are they? Who's teaching them that? Number one, what are the children learning about pronouns? And where, from whom? Where and from whom should they be learning about pronouns? And again, I'll ask the question, who the fuck business is it of Donald Trump's to decide who should be teaching their children about pronouns? Now, we can have that discussion some other time. The discussion of what does it mean to be a man? I don't want to have that discussion right now, so please don't go there. But remind me, and we can have that fucking discussion some other time. Right now, we want to talk about the awful pronoun wars that are being waged with our children. How you doing, Church? Now hold on while I pause for a moment from my I think I'm being respectful and go, holy shit, Johnny. How important was that? How important was that to you? And how the fuck do you not know what is and isn't being taught in schools about that? If I told you that children are not being taught anything about, I mean, other than the standard fucking English about pronouns, aren't taught anything about gender identity. What if I told you that school children are not being taught anything about gender identity? What would your response be to that? Because you just asked me, isn't that being taught in schools? And so that leads me to believe that you don't know. And so if I told you that school children are not being taught anything about gender identity at any point in time, what would your response be to that? Assuming also that when you were in school, you weren't taught anything about gender identity. Shit, this is a gank, right? Why wouldn't you believe me? When have I ever lied to you, Johnny? Wait. That's Bill Nye doesn't teach in schools, though. Bill Nye's like a fucking he's on the internet. You saw Bill Nye in school? I don't know. Whatever Bill Nye has to say about, I mean, whatever you saw Bill Nye teaching about, talking about gender identity, wherever you saw it, I'm guessing it wasn't in a school. Now, before we get too far, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what they are or aren't teaching kids in school. But why the fuck would you not believe me but believe somebody else? We've been hanging out for a while. I thought we were bros. And I think I present myself as someone who's generally intelligent and somewhat fucking informed. You've seen interviews with teachers? What do those teachers say about it? Oh, this is definitely a gank, right? I don't even know how many people are in this world right now. Now, I will say that we are bros, and we will continue to be bros. But this business of not being able to call someone a she because you think they have a penis, you're going to have to get over that if you want to hang out in my channel. Or at least while you're hanging out in my channel, you're going to have to get over that. Because there's a lot of trans folks here. I don't know if a lot. We got a lot of trans friends here. And I'm not going to have you disrespecting them in any way, shape, or form. And after the discussion tonight, I also can't have you questioning their identity. Again, if that's something that you want to do, you're going to have to go somewhere else. But back to the business of, you saw some teachers talking about some stuff, and what were the teachers saying? Because, I mean, I'm genuinely, admittedly ignorant about what is and what isn't going on in schools as well. Are these guys down here now? Shit. I gotta turn this back on. Attach. I appreciate that you can try to be respectful. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all that we're asking. But I just want to be clear. Like, part of that, in right here in this space, part of that respect is, you know, actual respect. They don't need to hear what I have to say unless they ask you. I mean, again, outside, like, right now, this is a safe space for Johnny to express his opinions about transgender issues. But after the stream ends tonight, it's not. So even if somebody asks you, you just say, sorry, I gotta go. But again, what were the teachers saying? I'm curious. I'm curious what the teachers were saying about what's going on in schools. Was there a co-invader that came in? I feel like there were two people, and then now there's a third. I don't know where that third person came from. What the F? And you don't have to, I mean, if you don't quite remember what the teacher said, don't feel like I'm going to lawyer up. Osama bin Laden connected. Oh, I know that person. That they couldn't answer certain questions. Osama bin Laden is a known ganker. at least known to me. I thought I had them blocked. Oh, man. This is frustrating. And ultimately, this is what I'm getting at. It sounds to me, and there's some terms here that are possibly loaded, and I'm not trying to insinuate that you're a hateful person or a bad person or that your beliefs are wrong. Um, um, oh, it's a hunter. What's this hunter doing? Um, we'll just say hangups. There are a lot of people who have hangups about the transgender issue. It sounds like you're one of those people, and it sounds like that was one of the deciding factors for you. The transgender issue, specifically as it's related to school children, was a deciding factor for you, among others, for how you might vote. And it's frustrating to me that it sounds to me like you don't know anything about it. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I don't think anybody out there picked the person other than the one that most closely aligns with their core beliefs and what they want the future to be. It's frustrating to me that that's like, for some people, it's because like little Johnny decided that they wanted to be called Jenny. And the teacher's like, okay, let's go ahead and learn some math now and not make that an issue. And I don't believe, as you insinuated earlier, that there is a significant amount of permanent changes being allowed by anyone for anyone under the age of 18. Keep in mind that you can't get a fucking tattoo under the age of 18. Period. Is it legal to give a tattoo under the age of 18? I reckon it's probably a state by state issue. With parental consent at 16. Again, it might be different from state to state. It's my understanding, and again, I have not researched this. It's my understanding that the transgender care that's being given, that is in any way, shape, or form permanent, is exceedingly rare. Exceedingly rare for people, for underage people, and those for whom it is being given have been living as their preferred gender for many years. It's not like a 15-year-old kid one day decides that they want to go from being Johnny to Jenny, and like 2 weeks later they're being put on hormones. It's my understanding that there's no actual permanent modifications being made. And that the exceedingly rare care that is being given is puberty blockers. So that if they change their mind, which again is not something that's very common, they can stop taking puberty blockers and go through puberty at just a later stage than they otherwise would have been. Now, I would encourage you, Johnny, if that is a significant issue for you, and it sounds like it is. It sounds like this transgender issue is and how it relates to school children is an important issue for you. And if it is, you should know what you're talking about. It's not an important issue for me. I'll go out and admit it. Transgender care for children is not an important issue for me. I don't know fucking anything about it. What is an issue for me is I feel like the issue of transgendered care for children is acting as a surrogate for bona fide transphobia against everybody. And if I had to guess, and this is maybe going to be an accusation, it's just going to be an accusation that, because, I mean, you said as much, Johnny, that your real issue is not transgendered care for children. It's just transgender stuff all around. And if it is, be honest with yourself and everyone around you about it. And I guess ultimately, just be honest about it. If you genuinely think that you're in the right, grow some fucking balls and be honest about it and stop pinning on children's stuff. Or do whatever you want. Anyways, that's my take. I also think that marijuana should be legalized, not necessarily for my own personal use, just because it seems really fucking silly to put people in jail. It absolutely should be decriminalized. So putting people in jail is wrong, but I feel like it should be legalized just because it seems like it'd be better. I don't know. Be better to just like earn some tax money off of it. Just sell it, get some tax money. By all accounts, it's better to have people hooked on the Mary Jane than it is on just about anything else besides caffeine. Tax it, regulate it. All right, next fucking one. I honestly don't have any super strong opinions about. I think that's the case for a lot of people too, Johnny. And to that, I would say, what the fuck is wrong with you thinking that Donald Trump represents your God in the Bible? Like, that's the most frustrating thing for me of all of the things. The thing that's the most frustrating is you come out and say that Donald Trump is the one that represents your values the most, and the most important value for you is God in the Bible. That blows my fucking mind. The man is a convicted rapist. He does almost nothing but lie every time he opens his mouth. He is famously an adulterer. Famously. He doesn't even deny it. He doesn't even deny that part about it. Like, he's a goddamn walking contradiction to the Ten Commandments. You can't be more opposed to the Ten Commandments than Donald fucking Trump. Not just in his past, but in his current. Not only does he rape people, He lies about raping people to this day. Now, perhaps you just think, like, as bad as Donald Trump is, perhaps you think that Kamala Harris and the Democrats are at least as bad, if not worse. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't even know what Kamala Harris's religious persuasion is. Now, we don't want to fucking again, we want to, let's not dogpile here. Usually, like, part of this for me, and I appreciate you putting yourself out there, Johnny. I respect you for putting yourself out there, and being honest. But yeah, I want to make sure that we're not. Let's not dogpile. Let's not dogpile. I'm just explaining my frustration, the way that I see it. God damn it. After all this time. Here it is. Oh shit, man. This is why they disconnect on us, guys. I just fucked around in that world for 20 minutes thinking that these guys were gankers. And they're just fucking assholes sitting at the top of an elevator. Do do boo. Now, full disclosure, I'm 100% like anti-God. But my parents are like, I grew up in a Christian household and I reject all of it. I reject every single fucking bit of it. And so that was something that happened around, I don't know, that took a while for, I don't know how long it took for me to actually reject every single bit of it. That doesn't necessarily mean that I disagree with all of the, I guess, ideas. But as far as things that are unique to Christianity as a religion, along with things that are unique, like if it's unique to your religion, I reject it 100%. Regardless of whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish. If it's like, this is the thing that defines my religion, I reject it. You were the blue? You're Osama bin Laden? I misread what was going on there big time. Whatever was going on there, I completely misread it. I thought for sure we were looking at gankers at the top of that fucking tower. I think I've probably blocked about 17 of your alts, by the way. Or maybe not. I definitely remember running. Maybe there's lots of people out. No, I recognize the I recognize the profile pic. So maybe I blocked you and then unblocked you. I don't remember. I've definitely run across... I've definitely run across someone with that name or something close to that name and that pic. Now, my parents are both very, very religious people, too. And one of the things, I mentioned that my mom has made some Facebook posts, and on one of the posts, one of the people that disagree with her was like, I don't see how you can vote for Democrats because everything that they have goes completely against our faith. And my mom replied, I feel exactly the same way about Donald Trump. I ultimately, again, like I said, I reject all of it to begin with, but more than anything, I fucking hate that it's inserted itself into politics. I don't know how long it's been inserted into politics. But I hate it so much. So, Johnny, can I ask which specific aspects, like maybe the answer is all of them. So maybe the top 5 or top 3. I think that's kind of where my parents are, Loyo. But let me finish asking this question. Because what? How did you put it? Did God and the Bible play a big factor for you? I'm guessing in terms of the core beliefs that led to you voting the way that you did. Like, what are the top 3 or 5 things? Top 3 or 5 things. In that regard. I'm assuming the man and woman stuff also involves homosexual relationships. Now, how do you feel about, on my side, we're seeing a lot of stories about how the abortion restrictions have led to, just in the last 6 months, have led to women dying. Women have died because the states that they were in have restricted abortion, and the doctors felt that they were not able to legally provide the care that they thought the women needed. People can live how they want. I'm not homophobic, but I guess how does that play into your decision to? I guess if it sounds like you're a freedom guy, live and let live freedom guy, but is it just like you think that it's about like providing a good example? You want leaders who believe the way that you do to provide a good example for, even if that example isn't about governance? Well, I don't necessarily think we need to litigate that. I think we could have a whole like there's like days. There's like weeks. Now, okay. So, the words are on the screen right there. The words are on the screen right there. I think in those cases where life is at stake, action should be taken. Who gets to decide when life is at stake? Loyo? Let Johnny come to it on his own. A doctor who went to school and has experience. So, yeah, okay. So it should be up to a doctor to decide, ultimately, when it's appropriate for a woman to have an abortion. Within the confines of whatever the state says, maybe? All right, just like with any other medical condition. So it should be between... I mean, presumably the woman's also involved. Or maybe if it's a life and death situation, the woman's dying and so she can't be involved. Okay. Now that's a reasonable belief. I think that's a reasonable belief. All right. Now here's the big question. Here's the big question, Johnny. It sounds to me like you believe that it's ultimately up to a doctor to decide when it's appropriate to provide an abortion to a woman, along with the woman's consent. At what point does the state get involved in deciding whether or not the doctors made the right decision? And you're in a perfect world where the decisions that need to be made are allowed to be made in order to protect the woman's life. At what point does the state get involved? Isn't there something already in place for that? I don't fucking know. Follow-up question. Presumably, if the state were to get involved in reviewing the maybe there's a review. Maybe it's a review. Kind of situation. Like, oh, a thing happened. A doctor performed a procedure for the health of the woman, and maybe there's a review in place. Have you had any medical procedures, Johnny? Have any surgeries or broken your arm and been given x-rays or anything like that? And I guess my follow-up question is it the state's business to review any of that? Eye surgery. Ah, shit, through the army. Well, here's a question. Do you think anybody, like, reviewed your doctor's decision to give you eye surgery? Or more importantly, if the state is going to get involved in the doctor's decision to protect a woman's life by having an abortion, like I lost myself in the middle of that question. My brain shut off in the middle of that question. I guess at the end of the day, to what extent is it does the government entitled to your medical records to decide whether or not the doctor made the right decision? Because I think that's ultimately God damn it. I think that's ultimately the issue at hand. If you're going to regulate, if I think to defer to what's in place that would deem things as medical malpractice, I think usually medical malpractice is usually is only I think medical malpractice stuff is usually only like arises when a procedure doesn't go as intended. And so presuming the abortion goes through as intended, at what, like, is it just that all abortions get reviewed? What the fuck am I doing? I agree. It does put doctors in a weird spot. If their decision to attempt to save a mom turns out to be the wrong one, even if the procedure was successful. Like, what would the review even turn up? Oh, what's up? Good morning. Now, just in order so that this conversation doesn't drag on any longer than it has to, I think a strong majority of even pro-choice people agree with your take, Johnny, that abortions should only be given in the case of um, personal, their personal belief, and I'd be willing to bet like any amount of money that you'd want me to bet that it is the opinion of Joe Biden that abortions should only ever be given in the event that there's a health issue with the mother. And it wouldn't surprise me if it were also true for, again, personal opinion. As in, I would only ever choose to get an abortion, or I would only ever support an abortion for, you know, for my loved one. In the case of, you know, health concerns for the mother. But the problem comes when it comes time to litigate what constitutes a life-altering fucking health decision for a mother. And what business is it of the government to decide what is and what isn't a life-altering health decision for a mother? And so that's why the pro-choice people, notice, in the case of pro-choice, they are genuinely, it's the most, again, this is one of the places where it frustrates me, people abusing language. There's so many people out there that 100% think that everybody who's pro-choice is pro-abortion. And I gotta say that that's not the case. Again, I'd be willing to bet just about any amount of money that if you were to look at any poll of Americans, let's just say Americans, the majority of the ones who are pro-choice are not pro-abortion in the sense that they want all women to get abortions whenever they don't want the baby. I might be wrong on that. I shouldn't be willing to bet any amount of money. But I'm rambling now. Ultimately, outside of like government's intervention, I think most people's personal beliefs about abortion, most pro-choice people's personal opinions about abortion are aligned with yours, Johnny. But then the only thing that really differs is that the line of reason that they led down is if we're going to permit abortions in the event that the mother's life is in danger, and that decision is going to be made between the woman and the doctor, then it's not feasible for the government to get involved in that decision. And it's ultimately not feasible for the government to get involved in any of those decisions. And so while their personal opinions didn't Trump put the vote to the states? Not necessarily. Trump appointed the Supreme Court justices that that turned back the law of the United States that made abortion legal in most cases. I don't even think abortion was like 100% legal in all cases. Abortions for the life of the mother are not protected in I think, I don't know. There's where I would encourage you to do your research. And maybe I need to do my research. Because, like I said, there's news stories where, that's the part that I think that's also the part, Loyo, is that the number the percentage of pregnancies that end in miscarriage is like a ridiculously high number of abortions were on God. Oh, that's you? What the fuck are you doing, you goddamn dirty fucking tunter? What the fuck? Stream is dying. Oh, is it back? I did drop some frames. Miscarriages happen. Oh, it's just 1 in 4? Really? That's it? Lawyer, you know I gotta block you just so I don't accidentally invade you again. Oh, well, good. I can block this person anyways. I don't even know why this person has it. This person is a Twitcher. They have their Twitch name, and it's not your Twitch name. I don't know why I confused you. This loser called me the N-word. That's not funny. Oh, fuck. But it's still kind of funny. No, I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do my own research. Miscarriage. Miscarriage, also known in medical terms as a spontaneous abortion. Oh, there it is. Among women who know they are pregnant, the miscarriage rate is roughly 10 to 20%, while the rates among all fertilization is around 30 to 50%. Have I played Baldur's Gate 3 and do I have any interest? I have not, and I do not. I got links turned off in my chat for everybody, but VIPs. I think the other thing too, among the people that think that women should just be able to make the choice, period, which I am one of those people. Up, I don't know, up to, I don't know enough about fucking gestational shit. I'm not going to have any problem with you, Johnny, as long as, you know, we're respectful of people in the chat. That said, you're not the same Johnny from before. We know each other better. I'm not the same Gopher from before. You know, at this point, you're aware that I fundamentally disagree with and lack respect for your religion, your religious beliefs. I have no respect for them. I have negative respect for your political attempts to inflict your religious beliefs on the entirety of the American people. And so I don't think that's new information to you, and I don't think that you could possibly not take that information into account. And likewise, I can't possibly not take information to account, the new information. And so, that doesn't mean that we still can't respect one another and get along. But this is the thing. It's like it happened after Trump won the first time, and it's happening after Trump won this time. There's a lot of Republicans out there that think it's absolutely ridiculous that their Democratic friends are dumping them. And there's a lot of people that think it's absolutely ridiculous to take someone's political or religious beliefs into consideration. But it's like, why are those things off limit, but other things aren't? Presumably, we make friends based on our opinions about common shared interests and things like that. Right? Or personal traits that we enjoy about one another. I feel like, you know, deeply held personal beliefs say way more about you than just about anything. When it's 100% valid for me to take those things into consideration. Like if you found out that someone that you were friends with was like 100% for killing all the babies, regardless of whether or not the mother wanted to, that would probably affect that would even the bestest of friends. You'd be like, shit, man, that's fucked up. I can't be friends with you anymore if you think that killing, like, literally, like, not just like babies in the womb, but like, you know, unwanted orphans. You just put them down like fucking dogs at the kennel that don't get adopted. Oh, I'm guessing you hear a lot of that in the rooms. What's up, Clay? I'm out. I'm not sitting around here. But I was gonna say, I think for a lot of anti-abortion people, and this is where the language is stupid. Don't call yourselves pro-life because you're not pro-life. You're anti-abortion. Just call it what it is. Stop being chicken shits about your beliefs and just own up to what they are. Pro-choice people are by and large 100% in favor of letting women and doctors make choices about the women's bodies. That's what it's all about. about making that decision. Now, I guess you could say, well, it's more than a choice. It's a choice about abortion. But the folks that call themselves pro-life, maybe they'd say, oh, it's pro-life for the babies. But I don't think it is either. Anyways, the primary beef that I have with the you're not allowed to have an abortion crowd is the religious belief that life begins at conception, which is not at all supported by science. And so this notion that the abortionists are out there killing babies, and I think they also genuinely believe that and I might be wrong here, that the pro-choice crowd is knowingly for killing babies. I guess I should when I said the pro-choice crowd was like, hey, let's only kill babies in the case where the mother's life is in danger. I don't think you're going to find too many pro-choice people who are for killing babies under any circumstance other than life of the mother. It's ultimately a disagreement about what constitutes a baby. Is this the same host that I fucked around with before? With Osama bin Laden? Fuck. Terrible. Man. That heal came out way slow. The abortion issue gets me really frustrated because people, nobody's willing to have discussions about it. And understand the other side's point of view. I think the rhetoric among pro-choice crowd that the pro-life crowd only wants to control women's bodies. I think that's I don't know. I'm not saying that there aren't fucking old white men who want to exert their fucking power over women. Deep down, Swede, I'm with you. This is definitely one of those issues where it's like I really only pick a side based on what I think is like logically like the most logical thing. There goes our political careers, Swede. We got fucking 20 people in chat be like, that go for P. Now, well, maybe I'm just saying on my political my political career would probably be one of a leftward leaning sort of situation. um, I'm mostly upset that it's still a fucking issue that we're going to continue to litigate for years and years and years and years and years. This abortion issue is going because of the Supreme Court decision that was made. We're just going to continue to litigate it. It's still going to be the single, what do they call them? Single issue voters. It's still going to be a massive fucking wedge between a pair of single issue voters that has undue influence on the political sphere for decades. And it's just so stupid, in my opinion. It's not stupid that people don't want to kill babies. It's not stupid that women want to have control over their own bodies. Don't get me wrong; those things are not stupid. To me, it's stupid that it's just a debate. It's a debate that we're still having in 2024. That's, I think, again, I don't know. I think a lot of it comes down to the life begins at conception. And I think some good science education. I don't know if science education would resolve any of that, or if people are just so locked in to a religious definition for life based on a fucking an imperfect translation of words that were written thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago. And this is where I think, Clay, that people need to this is where my greatest wish is that people would just start to try to understand one another. It's that they don't see that they're caught up in someone's pregnancy. They see it, they genuinely see it as protecting the life of a child. They don't see the issue any differently than one of it's just the trolley problem, where occasionally on this track you got a baby strapped to the fucking tracks, and on that track you got a woman, and you got to choose: does the baby die or does the woman die? It's an actual live baby. It's an actual baby that's been birthed. All right. And in the best case scenario, that's the issue: is do I kill the baby or do I kill the mom? And I don't think that there's anybody who would disagree that that's a terrible decision to have to make. But for a lot of people, that's the extent of the decision. And in all other cases of abortion, it's, do I run over this actually birthed baby? Or do I let the train go the other way and maybe somebody's a little bit poorer for it? It's not an issue of pregnancy. It's not an issue of control over women's bodies. It's like, for the people who are most passionate about being anti-abortion, it's literally for them about killing babies. And for a lot of those people, they genuinely believe that the other side is like really, really adamant about killing babies. Then that's what I'm talking about. The rhetoric gets nowhere because nobody's really understanding what the other side genuinely believes, because the other side is hiding behind words that they think are going to convince somebody to change their mind. Now I'm standing in here. I don't think I've ever spent any significant amount of time in here. Is there anything up there? Is there a way to get up there? I don't think there is. But it seems like there might be a door up there. Um, Maybe raise taxes on pro-life states with the mandate that they should provide programs that support those families that have to carry the baby. That's I don't think we gotta also talk about what's like politically, I don't know, politically viable. We can have discussions about viabilities of fetuses, but at the end of the day, it's a discussion about political viability. Um, um, solo time. No, this is a hotspot nerd. Now, here's also a question, Johnny. This was going to be an easy one. After the election, you said you thought I was going to be happy. What did I ever say to give you that impression? Or what did I... Is it just because I use the word retard semi-occasionally? Go for Sid retard. He's definitely not anti-woke. He's going to be all about Elon Musk and that Donald Trump fella. Oh shit, did my aunt ever respond? When I was in high school in our speech class, Loyo, I'll never forget this. We were and there was a unit in our speech class where we were quote unquote debating. And I don't know how this. I don't know how this. Even was even something that could happen. God damn. But one of the topics that we were allowed to debate was abortion, or that some people had to prepare. Mine was the death penalty. I had to prepare both sides to. I had to prepare to be able to debate both sides of death penalty. But some people were debating abortion, and one of the guys that got up and was on the anti-abortion side, like he said something about, I guess the words, I can remember the words, something to the effect of, every time a woman ovulates or a male masturbates, something, something, something. But to be fair, Loyo, I think the Catholics are very anti-masturbation. And they're definitely anti-contraception. We've been keeping it hot tonight. Gonna be the next fucking Destiny. Or Hassan. Or, nah. I got mad beef with Catholicism. My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend's like family, like all of her family, both immediate and extended family were like mad Catholic. They go to Catholic schools. The wedding that I attended was a Catholic mass. And the place where I grew up in the sticks. This is it just to give you some insight as to like how insulated my youth was. Is growing up, there was the Catholic family. In my school, there was literally, growing up, one Catholic family. And they sometimes sent their kids to the Catholic school, but when they ran out of money and couldn't afford the Catholic school, they sent their kids to the public school. And when I got to high school, then there was a second Catholic kid. It wasn't a whole family of Catholics, which is odd in hindsight. It was just the one Catholic boy. Are you Catholic, Johnny? I'm not trying to like completely shit on anybody, but like,
thank you, my love.
Like I said, I got mad beef with Catholicism. And especially, it's less like Catholicism and more about the Catholic Church. James Sunderland, what's up? Why do I know that name? Are you somebody that I went to grad school with? Don't dox me. James Sunderland is the name of a character in Silent Hill 2. God fucking cock it. Finish! God damn it! God damn it, man! Now I'm fucked. Now I'm fucked. God damn it, man. I swear to God, I went to grad school. Well, I didn't go to... this guy just... He was there... Like, his first year was towards my last year. I think. Or maybe I'm completely... No. It sounds like maybe no. Anyways, the Catholics, I think, are somewhat notoriously anti-contraception. Like, everybody knows that. All the Catholics know that. But it's actually the case. The reason that they're anti-contraception is that the Catholic, I guess, opinion, or the the Catholic platform, is that all sex that is not with the express purpose of creating babies is a sin. And the contraception thing is just like a byproduct of that. It's like, oh, if you're using contraception, then it's clear that you're not having sex for the purposes of procreation. But then that also means that, you know, all sex with among, you know, post-menopause women would be a sin. And I don't know a single I've never met a single Catholic person that's not a goddamn bunny rabbit when it comes to fucking premarital, postmarital, fucking, yeah. So, yeah. No, seriously, sex for enjoyment or for expressing one's love for another person is prohibited, from what I understand, in Catholicism. But the business of any person, the Catholics' political leanings related to children and protecting children, especially the unborn children, I don't understand how any person can hold that opinion and still support and be a member of the Catholic Church. It is unfucking fathomable to me that you could have bear witness to all the fucking molestation shit that's gone on over the years and the church's cover-up of that, and still claim some kind of moral fucking high ground when it comes to protecting children. It's fucking absurd. Also, it seems like just about every single one of their rituals is a clear violation of some fairly like actual text in a Bible that's not disputed. But whatever. No doubt. No doubt. Like one of the core aspects of religion or any kind of, you know, spiritual something or other, one of the ritual is one of the key core aspects of that, and what people get out of it and enjoy about it. Look at me with my staggered fucking running R1s. Shit, man. Shit, mail. Shit, mail. Shit, mail. Shit, mail. God damn it. What kind of bullshit do you have? God damn, this person's fucking untouchable. They're literally untouchable. I don't know what the game wants me to do with this fucking asshole, but clearly it doesn't want me to be able to hit them. Now I wasn't paying enough attention at the start of this. Jesus Christ. To figure out where that player was from. Darov Cable Wagner. Darov. Yeah. Okay, so that was the latent asshole. Shit, man, I gotta probably be done. Oh fucking A, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I gotta be done. I gotta teach. I'm all fucking jazzed up and I gotta teach in the morning. I feel like my sleep schedule's about to get fucked. All right. I'm gonna be done. Don't feel the need to rate anybody in particular. Go watch whoever your favorite is. Thanks for having some, hopefully respectful discussions about things that aren't hard, that are hard to have respectful discussions about. Definitely, we can't do this every fucking night. This is not going to be a regular thing. I don't want to be, as much as I like. It's not a one-time only thing. It's not a one-time only thing. Because, like I said at the very start of this, one of the realizations that I've had recently is that we have to start talking about this shit more. Not just on my stream or anything, but just in general, in public. We gotta stop being so fucking afraid of offending one another and pissing people off, and have honest discussions with real words that have meaning. And and take our fucking lives and countries and world back from the politicians and liars out there. We got to take it back. They stole it from us. I don't know how long ago they stole it from us, but they fucking stole it from us. And we got to fucking take it back. And the only way to take it back is to fucking talk amongst ourselves without fear of offending one another. And honestly, without fear of losing some friends. Who gives a shit? Life's too short to hang around actual fucking assholes because you're afraid to find out that they're a fucking actual asshole. Now, obviously, you know, at work and maybe at family events, you know, you don't want to stir the pot because I guess those are people that you have to be around and you have to be pleasant around. But genuinely, like among friends, there's nothing wrong with finding out that you completely disagree with your friends, and as a result, you just don't respect them anymore, and then go and find new friends. Even though that might be hard, it's a hell of a lot easier when you're young. So, but anyways, thanks everybody. I want to say that definitely tomorrow I'm taking a night off tomorrow. Period. Shit. Yeah, I'm taking a night off tomorrow, and maybe even Wednesday. But I'll probably be back Wednesday. If I'm not back Wednesday, then definitely Thursday. Peace out. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you. Rock and roll.